So this recipe is for a steak burger with homemade oven chips, and I'm using Northern Ireland farm quality assured minced steak for the recipe. I've already got the chips underway, and I've chopped up a few potatoes, large potatoes, left the skin on and just cut them into chips, and I'm parboiling them at the moment just for a few minutes, but I want to start to get the heat into the potatoes, so I'm just going to drain these now. The oven tray has already been in the oven, so it's very hot. And just chuck the chips onto the tray, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, and just give the pan a really good shake. And that goes straight into a hot oven about 250 degrees for about 20 minutes. So they will be beautifully crisp by the time the steak burgers are ready. Okay, so now for the fun bit. I'm just going to add about 500 grams of steak mince into a bowl. And to that I'm going to add 1 whole egg, 1 clove of garlic that's been minced or crushed, and a very finely chopped onion. I want to get a little bit of flavour in here, so I'm adding a couple of small teaspoons of mustard, just regular English mustard, and of course a little bit of salt and pepper. And make sure your hands are clean. If you're doing this with the kids, make sure their hands are clean. You just want to get your hands in there and get mixing. Make sure all of those ingredients are really well combined. Just take a few minutes. You can add some herbs if you want. You could put some parsley through this, which would be lovely. Or even at this point you could add some grated Parmesan cheese. It would be quite nice. Okay, so that's it thoroughly mixed, so just give me a minute. I've got a griddle pan which I need to heat. Not too hot, fairly hot, but not smoking like the steaks. And I'm going to divide the mince mixture into 4 patties. So the best way to do this is just roughly divide the mixture into 4 balls. And roll it in your hand. And what I like to do is just flatten them out. You can do this very quickly and just place them into the griddle pan as you work. So that's the 4 burgers into the pan. Now I'll just give them 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll turn them over and cook them for another 3 or 4 minutes. And then to finish them off, we're going to slice some tomato and some blue cheese, flash them in underneath the grill, and then we're going to top with some onion marmalade. And just bear in mind that you must always cook minced steak thoroughly. So I'm just going to reduce the temperature a little and allow them just to cook gently while the oven chips are cooking. So the burgers are almost there, and what I want to do now is just top them with a little bit of local blue cheese and a slice of tomato. I'm going to cut off a few slices of the cheese and cut these in half. And use a large tomato, just a few slices of it. I'm going to transfer the burgers to a baking tray or an oven tray. Turn that off. Okay, I'm going to lay a piece of tomato on top of each of the burgers, top with a little bit of blue cheese. So they just need to be popped into the oven for a few minutes to to allow the burgers to finish cooking, and by that stage the tomato and the cheese will have softened and melted all over the top. The burgers and chips are both ready, and we are just going to serve them with a few rocket leaves. So I've already toasted some burger buns, and I just want to put a little handful of fresh wild rocket leaves in the bottom, but you can use any kind of lettuce that you have in your fridge. Place the burger on top of each bun, and I like to serve these with some onion marmalade, but you can use any kind of chutney or just eat them as they are. Chips are lovely and crisp. Look at those, fantastic. So these are our homemade steak burgers topped with tomato and blue cheese, and I'm going to serve these with a little bit of onion marmalade, and of course don't forget our homemade healthy oven chips. For more tasty beef and lamb recipes, please visit the website.